today is ghee making place at my place, so I thought that I would share with you how easy it is to make homemade ghee. It's really far more simple than what you might think. All you need is a baking tray. I've got a stainless steel, it's just a cookie tray, but it is stainless steel, so it's fairly inert. It's not going to react and leach any chemicals or anything into my ghee. I've got just a 250 gram stick of certified organic butter from New Zealand. I make the assumption, and I could be wrong, and if I am wrong, please write in and tell me, but I make the assumption that New Zealand butter is grass-fed. I thought I had heard somewhere that they don't have the big feedlots over there, so I hope I have that correct. You're going to pop that butter just in the middle of the tray, and what you're going to do is set your oven for 100 degrees Celsius. It's a nice low oven, and you're going to pop it into the oven for 45 to 60 minutes. That's it. And don't panic if you walk away and forget it and leave it for a couple of hours. It's absolutely fine. It's not going to hurt it, especially at 100 degrees. It really doesn't burn at that temperature. And I have done it a few times. I get a little bit distracted and I'll wander away and realize 2 hours later, oh goodness, I've left the ghee in the oven, and it's been fine. So don't panic. What you're going to get is you'll have this beautiful golden liquid floating on the top, and then underneath you'll have this thicker, heavier white liquid. And I'll show you that when that comes off. But the golden liquid is the ghee. So right now I'm going to pop this into the oven. 100 degrees, 45 to 60 minutes. We'll come back then and I'll show you what it looks like. So our ghee has finished rendering in the oven. It's been in the oven for just over an hour at 100 degrees. And what you can see now, hopefully, is that we have a nice golden liquid on the top, and then we have this, well, it looks yellow at the moment because it's underneath the golden liquid, but it's a white liquid sitting on the bottom. It's heavier, it's more dense. If I move it, you can see how it moves. So what we're going to do now is pour the ghee into our jar. I am pretty messy. I tend to drip things everywhere, so I use a funnel. The other thing that I do is that sometimes I can't quite get the ghee into the jar without losing some of the milk solids into the jar as well, and I don't want the milk solids in there, especially when you're doing the GAPS diet. Ghee is your first little venture into testing dairy, and the reason it's the first one is because we're just testing the butter oil to see if we're okay with that component of milk. The white part on the bottom is actually the milk solids, so there's protein in that, and we don't want to be testing the protein yet. When we test out the milk protein is when we start trying things like yogurt, which is a bit advanced for where we're at the moment. So I'm going to use just a little bit of muslin to help trap any milk proteins that want to get down into my ghee. I'm going to use a funnel, and I'm just going to pop that inside like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just that I tend to be a little bit hopeless at this bit. So let's see how much mess I can make. And you can see that milk solid is already moving to the corner, so I'm going to have to pour really slowly today. I don't want to pour too quickly because even though I've got the muslin there, milk protein can still slip through that. I'm just using it as a bit of insurance. So as you can see, it's a really slow pour to get that yellow butter oil or ghee to pour off the top of the tray. And I'm going to stop there because I'm getting lots of the milk solid now, and I don't want that. So what you can see now that most of the ghee has been poured off is that that liquid on the bottom most definitely is white, and they're your milk solids. The other thing that you might be able to notice here is, if I pull this out, so you can see the milk solids sitting in the muslin, and then if I pull it away, you can see that beautiful golden liquid, and just in the bottom is where you can see a little bit of milk solids that have escaped into the ghee. So I'm just going to make sure that when I start to get to the bottom of my ghee that I probably stop, because I don't want to be eating those milk solids at this stage.